Salve, salve família, por aqui Júnior Vibz. Hoje temos aqui o privilégio e a honra aqui de estar com a nossa querida rainha Lioness Reemah, das Ilhas Virgens, para trocar uma ideia sobre reggae music, sobre a sua carreira e essa turnê aqui no Brasil. Hi Queen.
Greetings.
Yes, blessed love.
Blessed love.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for your kindness in agreeing to speak with us.
Oh, anytime. You're very welcome, and it's my pleasure to be here.
Are you feeling great?
Wonderful. 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 Yes.
I would like to start by talking a little bit about the person behind the Lioness, the Queen Reemah.
Yes, so I was born in St. Croix in the Virgin Islands, and I grew up there just like any other person. Was raised in a Christian household, and I went to school there, lived my life there, and had interest in music at a very young age. Reggae music was always prevalent on the airwaves. Island in the Caribbean, reggae music is all around. Always loved music, always enjoyed music, the vibration of music. And for me, I was mostly interested in the lyrics and the messages in the music. So I would take apart songs, and just to see what they said, you know what I mean? Just the lyrics and the music. And so that was my fascination. I just love music, but the lyrics especially.
How was your initiation into reggae music?
My initiation into reggae officially was in 2006. And it was through a band called Bamboo Station, also from the Virgin Islands. And they released their album called Break the Soil. And so we recorded a song called Chance to Grow. And so that was my first song or appearance on the scene as far as an artist. So Bamboo Station was the one that, brought me out and featured me on their album.
Bamboo Station showed you to the world.
They introduced me to the world. So blessed love Bamboo Station.
Were you inspired by any one artist in particular?
Yeah, for me, inspired by a lot of artists and a lot of different genres of music, because I just love music. In reggae, one of my artists that I really, really loved, especially during my time coming up, was Sizzla. Sizzla was a very revolutionary. He was a revolutionary. His music, his consciousness, his style, everything was, I just loved it. Apart from Sizzla, Garnet Silk, of course, Bob Marley, his music, the messages, again, the consciousness, So those were three artists that...
Bob Marley used to say that reggae music is a road to consciousness.
It is. I mean, reggae music is consciousness, the messages, It talks about the struggle that we face as a people, how to better the lives of everyone, not just brown people, but everybody on a whole. And it exposes people to the struggles that we face, in an effort to overcome those struggles.
In November, here in Brazil, we celebrate the memory, the legacy, the work, and the strength of Zumbi dos Palmares.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great leader in our country, fighting for freedom and fighting against the slavery in Brazil. I think Zumbi is the same level that Queen Mary. You can talk about Queen Mary and the freedom fighters in your country.
Yes. So Queen Mary was a very historical figure in the Virgin Islands. What she represented for people of the Virgin Islands was freedom. She was a trailblazer. And not only she was a freedom fighter, but in addition to that, she was a female. So, just having this strong presence, Queen Mary in the VI, along with Queen Matilda, Queen Agnes, the three of them, they stood up against slavery. And so they initiated a fire burn in St. Croix, specifically in Frederiksted, in the Frederiksted town. And so they just burned everything down, you know, because they were tired of the oppression, right? So Queen Mary was a leader, and much more than a leader, you know what I mean? But her legacy in the VI represents strength, power, just the ability to stand and to do something, you know, and not being intimidated that she's a female too, you know? My music, I always want to put messages of strength in there, messages to inspire, not so much educate, but, you know, to just make people aware of who they are, no matter what we're going through, no matter the struggles that we face. Yes, we know the struggles, but at the same time, we have to realize who we are. We have to step into our power as people, right? Because there's an agenda to dumb down our power, right? So if we step into our power, regardless of nationality, regardless of color, regardless of all of those things, if we step into who we are, there's no limit to what we could do. You know what I mean?
Tell us about your career as a singer and a songwriter. What your expectations about your tour in Brazil?
Then in 2012, I released Check Your Words, which was my first album, right? And then in 2018, I released a second album, which was Breaking News, right? So now we due for another album, right? Because the last one was 2018. My expectations for this tour in Brazil. But first of all, let me just say, I just give thanks for being back in Brazil. It's been about 9 years since I have been back, and so it's such a pleasure to be here. I love Brazil. The love that they give me is amazing, and so I want to say thank you to Brazil, and thanks for those that brought me here. You know, best big up Rhythm Agency. So yeah, I just expect nothing but niceness for the show that's coming up tomorrow, Lioness Festival. Just wanting to connect with the people again, to see them, you know, to feel the energy, you know, and just to establish a presence here again.
Salvador! Let's be precise whenever you close your eyes. So many things there to keep you down. No matter you try, can't seem to get it right. Seems like there is no one else around. Like the tears from your eyes.
In your point of view, how can reggae music fight against all kinds of oppression that affect black people around the world?
Reggae music is the voice of the people. You know, the messages in reggae music is specifically talks about the struggles that we face as people around the world. You know. But reggae music also inspires, because to me, if you talk about the struggles, there's also a way to improve. There's also a way to do better, right? Because a lot of things that they hide from us, we talk about it in reggae music, right? We talk about certain things in reggae music. And so just for the people being able to listen to the messages and draw inspiration and draw motivation to want to change the mindset of a victim, right? To change the mindset of, you know, just allowing things to happen and to go along with whatever these people have in store, right? But we could break out of that, right? We could start our own way of living. Just, you know what I mean? Just do things our way rather than being succumb to what they want us to be.
How are you feeling about the reggae music female singers?
I think right now is such a exciting time for females in reggae music. A lot of female artists are stepping out on the scene, you know, are voicing their opinions, you know, spreading their messages, bringing their point of view, bringing a balance to a male-dominated thing, right? So female the female energy is prevalent, right? It's coming again to balance once again. Balance this aggression, you know, just balance it with the female energy. And so it's lovely to see these women in reggae music standing up, you know what I mean, being queens, right? Standing in their power, in their dignity, and spreading music, spreading the messages through the music. So that's something I love to see.
So I say I war in a Babylon when Jah bust the danger. Well, I say I war in a Babylon when judgment come in, yeah.
You as a protagonist, a strong woman that inspires not only all the artists, but also young girls, especially black girls, that listen to your music. How do you feel about it?
It's an honor, and I take that role seriously. I know that for me, I have a responsibility that when I write music and, you know, when I step on stage, that we don't know who is watching, but I do know that there are young, impressionable children and girls especially that do watch. And so I feel like it's my duty to be a good representation for them. And it's a blessing to know that, you know, young girls, you know, see myself and they might be inspired, they might be motivated to be strong, you know, and to be courageous and to not be afraid to speak and to have a voice, you know. Despite your circumstances, yes, we know things might be rough, but you are able to do anything you put your mind to, right? So I always tell yourself, you look at yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself, I am powerful, I am strong. And allow those words to penetrate you, right? And listen to yourself, listen to your heart, and just follow your dreams, right? There's no one could tell you that you can't do something, you cannot be where you want to be, because you could do anything, you could be anything, right? And so let's live in unity with one another. Let's not fight. Let's come together in love, right? Because there's more power in unity, right? So yes, bless up, Salvador.
Babylon got them victimized.